All right, everybody. So thank you to everybody who would send their well wishes either in the backstage on our community page for our 17 years anniversary. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, of course, you know me. This is an opportunity to share more and more lessons. There's more and more. So do me a favor. If you the more you hit the like button, the more people will benefit from this as time goes on. So there are 17 lessons that I've extracted for you guys to cover here today. And but those 17 lessons are basically 17 myths that will be debunked for you today. Okay. I just want you to really think deeply about some of these 17 points and think about them. Don't just process them. Take your time to process them. Now it says 17 shocking lessons in 17 years of marriage as a husband. That means from my standpoint as a husband, I did not discuss this with my wife. This is something I came up with. This is just me personally. This is what I came up with, but this is also my opinion. So ladies, you're going to benefit a lot from this. If you have a husband, a spouse, a partner who is failing in 11 of these 17 points that I'm about to share with you, you are probably struggling in that relationship. Now, if you're not yet married or you don't even have a partner yet, these 17 points are points you want to write down. And if you start to run into problems later on, it's probably because of one of these 17 points. I came up with them because I have personal experiences around them. Yes, and yes, I did run into problems when I was running around town with the myth attached to each one of these. So for each one, I will share the false belief with you, and then I will share my truth. Okay. Now you can choose to borrow the truth and use it for your own self, or just process it and see if you can agree, somehow find a middle ground. Just process it. So, but I want it to be something that you internalize and really understand. You understand the concept behind it. Okay. So, ladies, again, you can use this as some kind of assessment. Does my husband pass for this? Right? These are just my opinions. You can use them. You can even increase the numbers, you can reduce it, you can discard a few of them. But in my opinion, if a man is failing at 11 of this, failing means it's not aware at all. Okay. Failing does not necessarily mean like he might know this, but he's going through a rough time. Men also struggle in life, right? They might be going through a rough time and they might be quote unquote not up to par with some of this, right? With some of these points I'm about to share with you. But when I say failing, the past is when they're aware of it. The fail is when they're not aware of it, of this particular myth, and the need to debunk them, which becomes the lessons. All right. So, with that being said, let's get into it. False belief number one. False belief number one. It's been 17 years. I must have figured everything out. Well, so make that number. It could be 9 years, 7 years, 3 years, right? Or no, actually, we just got married yesterday, but I have common sense, right? So there's nothing else there is to learn. Or I'm an elderly person, so I figured everything out, right? This is a false belief. Okay, this is a false belief. So as opposed to this is the lesson that I've learned. Every day is a brand new day. People come to me all the time. People might say things like, so you're a marriage coach. So you think you figured it all out? It's like, oh, so you've written books about marriage. So you think you figured it all out? About this thing is evolving, though. No, every day is a brand new day. Well, that's not gender specific. Anyone can borrow that and use that. Every day, your goal is to make every day your best day. All right. You wake up every day, you see that day as an opportunity, and you go after making it the best quality of life ever. All right. So now let's move on. Let's rush through it. I don't want to drag it out. If you have any pause or anything like that, you want to pull me back, feel free to pull me back. False belief number 2. My reactions are justified because of how others treat me. You made me do it. It was your fault. If you had not done this yesterday, I wouldn't have done this today. If it wasn't because of the way you talked to me, you were disrespectful. So, this is a false belief system. This is a myth. It never has to be this way. Okay. This honestly earlier on for me created a lot of problems for me. Okay. Because honestly, there were a lot of activity that I could point fingers at, that I could be like, you know what, this wasn't who I was. As a matter of fact, I would say she changed me. Right? Funny enough, she will say the same thing. She changed me. You changed me. I'm never like this. And then when we make the mistake of taking it to our parents or to some kind of external factor, when the person seems like they're taking sides, right? Yeah, you know that moment when you feel like that person is taking sides. Yeah, they might say like, no, but Ola is not like that. And then I think, oh, somebody is helping me tell her the truth finally, and I still go home and collect shege regardless. Right? Well, they should be checked. Yeah, I know. But here's the lesson that I learned over time. Regardless of what made me do it, regardless of what the weather was, regardless of what sunshine, what snow, whatever was going on that wasn't conducive environment, while those things can be valid, I learned to own my shit. My reactions are my responsibilities. So that's the second lesson that I learned in 17 years. All right. Feel free to slow me down. Okay. Now let's move on to false belief number 3. False belief number 3. Can we move on up to false belief number 3? False belief number 3. I know what she's doing. She's showing me who she is. Right? I know who she is. I've known her for the past 17 years, for me 20 years, right? So I know everything there is to know. This is the wrong angle to approach a marriage. Okay? This type of mindset creates close-mindedness. Close-mindedness is always negative. Either we're talking about, it doesn't matter, even if we're talking about in corporate setting, or we're talking about in personal relationships, and of course, especially inside of marriage. Close-mindedness is the beginning of many people's downfall, right? It's the reason why they make assumptions. It's the reason why people overreact. It's the reason why a lot of people are disappointed. Close-mindedness and expectations, they tend to go hand in hand, right? Expectations comes from, disappointment comes from expectations. Resentment comes from disappointment, linked to expectations. False belief. I know what she's doing. She's showing me who she is. She's doing to me. She's intentionally trying to hurt me. The lesson, my truth today, number 3. Again, this could change tomorrow. I don't know why it could change, but it could change. Okay. Truth number 3, 17 years down the line. Avoid making conclusions. Lessons. I learned to avoid making conclusions and taking actions based on assumptions based on the past. Obviously, the further you go into the future, the more experience you have with this person, the more activities, the more experience you're creating, the more you feel like you know this person, you can predict them. Well, predictability is opposite of attraction. So go figure. If you're predictable, they're probably not attracted to you. If they're predictable, you're not attracted to them. In fact, if anything, you resent them. These are some of the things that you need to pay attention to. So what is the solution to this? Again, avoid making conclusions, right? Making conclusions. This will force you to do what? Active listening. This will force you into active listening. Thank you, Chidima. My reactions are my responsibility. Absolutely. Absolutely. So false belief number 4. This was the false beliefs that I had before I learned what I learned, that I'm sharing with you right now. So false belief number 4 of 17. It's a belief system. It's a mindset. All of this is a mindset, not necessarily the reality of how things play out. It's a mindset that helps you recreate your biggest fear. Okay. False belief number 4, she needs to be respectful and allow me to lead. Allow me to lead is a curse word phrase here with the Prestige family. They allow me to lead. We just don't, gentlemen, we don't do that. Please don't say that to yourself. Okay. You will literally recreate it. So how do we hold her accountable? By holding yourself accountable. All right. Especially in a romantic relationship. Especially in a romantic relationship. So here's the lesson. This is what I learned. My lesson number 4 from all of this thus far. My lesson number 4. Lesson number 4. I am the man, and in due time, she follows my lead, no matter how things appear right now. So in the short term, things can feel rough. Things can be all over the place, you know. In the short term, things can be all over the place, you know. So it's very, very important to pay attention to some of those things. Again, false belief, she needs to be respectful and allow me to lead. It's a mindset. Of course, she needs to be respectful and allow, I hate the allow to lead. And you should be leading, right? She needs to be respectful and you should be leading. But regardless if she's respectful or not, you should still be leading. So what I learned over the years is I am the man, and in due time, she follows my lead, no matter how things appear right now. So if I trust this simple fact, everything follows through accordingly. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Help me hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you're getting value so far, please hit the like button. All right, so let's go to false belief number 5. We have a long way to go. False belief number 5 of 17. Jesus is Lord. All right, false belief number 5. I need to communicate, express myself, and speak the truth always. I know somebody's like, wait, what? What's wrong with that? All right. Yeah. I'll show you. For me, in my experience, this is what was wrong with that. Let me go ahead and just share with you. In my experience, this is what was wrong with that. Okay. Effective communication means listening more and talking less. So I'm actually going to practice what I'm preaching here. I'm actually going to talk less, or unless somebody has a problem with that. Let's keep it moving. False belief number 5. Thank you, Uncle Beno. False belief number 6 of 17. Because I want us to, if possible, finish on time. False belief number 6 of 17. If I'm not constantly contributing, I have no value. If I'm not constantly contributing, I have no value. Okay, so that one, let me see here. Let's see. The reality is that a lot of men feel this and they resent it from a very subconscious place. They need to be used. They need to feel used, but they don't necessarily like to say it that way. They don't like to be abused, right? So it's very, very important to understand this. Now, I think I have a different version of this. Let me see here. There must be a mistake here somewhere. Let me pull this up. Hold on one second, guys. Walk with me, walk with me, walk with me. There's a different version of this. I think I put the wrong version there. So let's see. There you go. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. I think I found it. Hold on a second. What are we on? False belief number 6. Okay, false belief number 6. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that. Again, a lot of people are complaining that they feel used or feel abused in their relationship, and basically they react from this place. Okay, so we need to be careful with that, gentlemen. We need to be careful with that. The reality is that this is a relationship, and yes, sometimes you will feel used. Okay, but if you stay in that victimhood mindset, it only gets worse. All right, so truth number 6: if I can't be useful enough to be used, I might as well be useless. I can't be abused. So it's a can't. It's a can't. It's not a I don't want to be abused. It's I can't be abused. It's a mindset. Okay, it allows you to operate from a masculine place where you're not feeling like a victim all the time. Jum Beyond Brace says, hence the reason some people can't be helped because it's a mindset. It's a mindset. Yes, you need to. There's a difference between helping and being a helpmate. There's a difference. As a matter of fact, I just finished a session with a client where we were talking about that. If you're helping a man be a man, it will always backfire. Ladies, if you're helping a man be a man, it will always backfire. Gentlemen, I'm not saying that your wife cannot help you, but imagine if she's trying to help you with your level of ambition. Does that feel good? Imagine she comes home every day and she's always comparing you to other people. You feel like she's comparing you to other people. She feels like you guys should be riding the Range Rover by now, and she's bringing that home to you all the time, right? That's not going to create a good feeling. So it's very, very important. This is all mindset. It doesn't mean you can't help your husband, but if you're noticing that you're feeling drained all the time, in spite of all the help, everything you give up, everything to help him, is probably feeling emasculated. Is it your fault? Either it's your fault or not, it's irrelevant. You should just know that for what it is. So what can you do to help? You can help you find help. You can help yourself find help by helping yourself first. All right, so let's go to false belief number 7. I believe I had a different version of the false belief number 6. I'll see if I have enough time, I'll come back to it. Okay, let's go to false belief number 7 of 17. Okay, all right. False belief number 7. I am not always right, but she's always wrong because I am the man. Right is right and wrong is wrong. I think this one is obvious, right? Chidima says mindset can be changed. The problem is when people are close-minded. Yes, it's the close-mindedness, because all of this needs to be fluid in nature. It's not something to agree to disagree on. It's just something to work with to help you come up with your own rules in life. All right, because honestly, that's how I'm still operating. So I can come back tomorrow, 17.1 years in the marriage, and change my mind on 1 or 2 of this. I can. These are just things I've learned thus far. Now you missed number 6. Truth number 6: if I can't be useful enough to be used. So this is for men that always complain that they feel used. Okay, if you cannot be useful enough to be used, you might as well be useless. You can't be abused. Okay, it's a can't. C-A-N-T, not I don't want to be abused. Change your mindset from I don't want to be abused to I can't be abused. All right. Basically, disengage from the fear of other people abusing you. If you still feel abused, you do feel abused, seek help. Okay. If you feel abused, you're probably that's your reality. You need to seek help. Okay. Don't stay in an abusive situation, even if you're a man. False belief number 8. Did I cover the truth number? No, I didn't cover truth number 7 yet. Okay. So, so false belief number 7 is I'm not always right, but she's always wrong because I'm the man. Okay, so most people don't say she's wrong. Okay, most men don't just outrightly say she's wrong. However, they operate like she's wrong. Okay, if I'm right as opposed to what she's saying, that automatically make her wrong. Not only that, she already feels that she's wrong because you're obviously shutting her down. You feel me? You're shutting her down. She can't get a point across. She could be wrong, but you're not going to get a positive result from her feeling like she's shut down all the time. In fact, she's going to bottle up resentment long enough until she fires back, and that doesn't look pretty. Okay? Here's what I learned as opposed to that mindset over the years. Pride complicates my love life 100% of the time, even when I think I am right. I think we know that here for a long time.
You're right.
Right. False belief. This is kind of like piggybacking, but a little bit different on the other one. False belief number 8. False belief number 8. As a man, never listen to a woman. Like, well, I would never say that. Well, there are enough people saying that right now, especially in this social media age. Okay. Now there's listen and there's listening. There's active listening and there's listening, right? You should always be actively listening to your woman, of course, right? You should always be actively listening to a woman. But obviously, this even point or mindset. Remember, it's not necessarily something you would admit to saying verbatim, but it's a mindset. It might take a little bit of extra self-reflection on your part to agree that you've actually operated from this standpoint. Okay, if you're not willing to self-reflect on this, you see your life. That's exactly what I'm saying. All right, gentlemen, stay with me. Hang out with me. I'm your brother. Okay, walk with me here. It's not stuff that you necessarily admit to. All right, but you probably have been accused of this at some point. And again, I'm speaking just my own experience. Okay, as a man, never listen to a woman. Here's what I learned. Number 8 of 17. What I learned in the last 17 years is if I don't break the cycle, pride will create a vicious loop of anger in my marriage. That's literally just pride walking in your marriage. And my opinion, the number one thing that's destroying marriage is pride. It's a competition between pride and unrealistic expectation. But I think pride is like 0.5 over unrealistic expectations. Because why would a person not feel like they have unrealistic expectations? Because of pride. So pride is a root cause of that too. So pride, number 1. And pride often shows up in very sneaky ways. You're a good guy. The question is never if you're a good guy or not. Okay. In fact, everybody else outside of your wife will say, no, that guy is a good guy. So your wife even feel worse because nobody will ever see her point of view. But you have a superpower in your hands. You can starting now, say, why does she keep saying that? Like, without making it, she's just wrong. Just be curious, just out of curiosity. Why does she keep saying that? If you just, what does it require to be able to come to that space to say, why does she keep saying that? Oh yeah, we have to tell pride to go somewhere, sit down for a second, right? It's not absolutely unhealthy to have pride, to have a sense of pride of yourself. But in a relationship where your partner feels like you never listen, obviously that's a negative. Okay? That's a negative. False belief number 9. False belief number 9. I need to be in control of everything in marriage. Now, as a man, it's typically a natural place for you to be. It's your mindset, of course. You want to make sure that everybody is good, right? But oftentimes that's lacking emotional intelligence. Oftentimes you don't think emotions need to be taken care of within that same context. So, truth number 9. This is what I learned. Number 9 of 17 of the last 17 years. Let me see here. Okay, there's some typos here. Let me go find the real one. Sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. I have some typo stuff going on here. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. I do have some typographical error going on here. Let's see. What number are we on? Number 9? Number 9, right? Oh, okay. I think it's still on point. There's no typos. See? My eyes focused on everything else, but the need and the can't. All right. So false belief number 9. I need to be in control of everything in my marriage. Here's what I learned. I can't control everything, but I can control enough to win in love and life. You cannot control everything. In fact, you shouldn't be trying to control everything. It's a loser's battle. It's a loser strategy. Okay? It's a loser strategy to try to control everything. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. How do I know? Just look at your results. If it's working, you've been paying attention to this one way, shape, or form or the other. Okay. You know the funny thing, Chinye, I'm a control freak. So I had to learn the hard way. I wanted to see everything. It drives you insane. I feel you. I feel your pain on that. False belief number 10 of 17. If you can't control your wife, you are a weak man. Gentlemen, why are you doing this to yourself? Do you not think you deserve soft life too? Don't you think you deserve soft life too? This false belief is a mindset, as always, really work. Here's what I learned in the last 17 years. Here's what I learned. Here's 10th lesson of 17 lessons that I've chosen to share with you. I can't control my wife, but I can choose to control myself and effectively influence her. Truth number 10, my personal truth number 10, what I learned over the last 17 years. I can't control my wife, but I can choose to control myself and effectively influence her. Not only is this the magic, it works better. Because don't tell her, she thinks everything is her idea. She thinks it's her own idea. Shh, don't tell her though. Okay. Your wife was like, nah, and dragged your blockers. I'm glad you learned. Don't tell her. Anyway, let's keep going. How far are we? False belief number 11. Ladies, these things, many of these are not gender specific. Many of them are not gender specific. I just happen to be talking to my brothers today. Okay, you can take many of these and use. Plus, also, you can use this as your gauging barometer to see if a man is where he needs to be to help you thrive in your femininity. If a man fails 11 of these, particularly from a place of awareness, you are probably operating from your masculine energy for the most part. You can't feel safe. So, all right. False belief number 11. How far are we? Number 11 of 17. As a victim of my wife, society will forgive me if I hold her accountable. Right? Well, again, it's not necessarily said in words, but a lot of men are operating from this standpoint. They're actively taking themselves and effectively their wife for granted. So they think they can continue to get away with this. There's only so far you can get away with this. So I know that society will forgive you. But let me tell you something. you're creating damages in that relationship, in that marriage. It's only a matter of time before you break something. Okay? As a victim of my wife, nobody ever, most times people don't just say I'm a victim of my wife, okay? But they might use sentences, other sentence structures that essentially say they are being the victim. And now it's time for you to, it's time for you to pity them, sympathize with them. So they don't ask for sympathy, but their actions is essentially asking for sympathy. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Empathy is always necessary because empathy actually helps you to serve, okay, to serve better, to serve the other person better. Sympathy, not necessarily. Sympathy is like, oh, right, but you can't really help them, all right. Truth number 11 that I learned over the last 17 years, 11 of 17 lessons that I learned over the last 17 years. I might have been a victim. I'm actually having a hard time agreeing that I'm ever a victim. That's why I say I might have been. Because in all of this, they are not exactly innocent too. They're not exactly innocent. That's not what I'm saying here at all. All I'm trying to do, gentlemen, is help you engage your power, as always. Okay. I might have been a victim, but now I'm a survivor. And as a man, I have access to my power. It's a mindset shift. It's a mindset shift from being a victim, okay, and then operating from a place that you think she's always going to be there, right? Meaning no sense of gratitude in your assessment at all, because the only thing you can see is everything she's doing wrong, right? Naturally so. We're just trying to elevate you above natural because you're not an animal. You are a higher animal. So we're trying to get you to another level. So I've changed my mindset over the years to I might have been a victim so that, so some people might say, oh no, you were a victim. She should be held accountable. Good for you. But for me, my power is much more important to me than the label of me being a victim. Okay. So I'm a survivor. Okay. At least, at most. Okay. All right. Let's see. The statement started with solutions and ended with the problem, hence it will always be a roadblock. Innocentina. Oh, Billy. Yes, we are innocent. Okay. If you say so. Okay. As a victim of my wife reminds me of the uncle in red shirt. He popped the balloon. He kept asking the woman who say he talked too much, why are they not reacting to the woman that triggered him? Yes, and I think probably number one also was speaking to that. In fact, let's see how far back we are. Make sure that I think I had because I would like to do a recap if we have enough time. Would like to make sure I favorite the ones that I've posted before. Okay, all right. Truth number 3. We should start from 3. Hit the like button. No, hit the like button. No. If you think other people should see this, hit the like button. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, there you go. Let me favorite this. Let me favorite number 5. Let me favorite number 5. 5, 6. Thank God I remember this. 7, 8. Yep. 9. I think we're up to 11 already, right? 10. 11. Okay, how far are we? Okay, yes, we're up to speed now. You said we're not. I know you said yes, we're not. Oh, you said we're not innocent. Oh yeah, not innocent. Double. Oh, okay, yeah, double negative. Okay, yeah. That means okay, all right. I'm waiting. Yes, you're not innocent. All right. Let's get on to number 12. Definitely, there's no side that's innocent when it comes to romantic relationships, which is what most people engage. Most people engage the innocent and guilty aspect of things. That's literally where they get stuck, which is why many people just get stuck because they're focused on what they don't want, and obviously that makes them struggle to get to what they actually want. Because there's only so much space in your brain, in your mind, in your subconscious mind. There's only so much space. There's only so much energy that you have. False belief number 12. I owe so much to the parents who gave me everything, and my wife is a bad devil if she tries to get in the way of me taking care of them. Wala, wala. I've gone through this before personally. That's why I can relate. So here's what I learned over time. Okay. Listen, all those people that want to talk about all the extremes of things that happen inside of marriage, like somebody buys somebody inside of a marriage and stuff like that, you see, I have a hard time engaging them. Because if I don't have experience with such things, God forbid bad thing, I know if we speak to him now, right? The only way I can help is if you are a survivor, sometimes it can be a struggle to start the rest of your life. We can help you change, start to renew your mind and see the best about life. We can help you in that respect. But if you are stuck inside the worst of the worst stories that marriage has to present, it gets more difficult for you to get out. Okay. So that's false belief number 12. I owe so much to my parents. Again, some of these false beliefs are not necessarily lies on paper, right? But it's a mindset that's going to help you create more calamity inside of your marriage, right? Here's what I learned over time. If I ever have to choose, that's if I ever, okay? By the way, this new mindset puts me in a position where I never have to choose anymore. Go figure. You see that? Did you see that coming? You never see them. Okay. You never expected it. It's all right. It's all right. But here's what I learned. Oh, I need to be favoriting them as we go. Okay. What I learned is if I have to choose, I must always prioritize the family I created over the family I came from. This is non-negotiable. How do I know it's not negotiable? Well, I'm speaking 17 years later. Well, from my experience, just this mindset shift puts me in a position where I never have to choose anymore. If there's a way that it aligns everything where I just never have to choose again. As a matter of fact, I now have to compete with affection towards her from my parents with me, because now they are giving her that same affection, right? I never have to compete. I'm just saying, right? Sometimes I'm just like, hello, I'm here, but they're checking on her first before they check on me. Your focus is not focusing. Focus on the right thing. There's some things that create downstream effect of exactly what you want. But like Beyond Brains was saying, if you start with the problem, it's more, you're not even going to get to the solution. Okay? Because the problems are obsessive in nature. Because remember, you're the one feeling them. These are things that are feeling like you're being abused. So you're obsessed with fighting back, being defensive, right? So it takes work to actually get you disengage you from that. Letting go is very hard. It's very hard. But that's precisely what you're going to need to do at some point. So the sooner we know that, the easier it is to start working in that direction. You're going to need to let go of a lot more than you probably realize. So false belief number 13, reacting quickly and passionately to anything that smells like disrespect shows strength, stoicism, and masculinity. All right, so it's not said in words, but the actions. You need to self-reflect to see yourself in this as a man. But in actions, you might start to see like, did I learn somewhere that I need to put my feet down? Right? Is somebody been telling me indirectly that I don't have control of my wife? So I now feel the need to put my feet down and show them that I'm still the man. Do you feel the need to reintroduce yourself all the time as the husband, like Dr. Akpoki said? Right? It's a sign that you're not sure of yourself. Okay. And that's precisely what you need to work on. So here's what I learned over time. The patience I practice in my interactions, in every interaction, benefits me. I don't gain anything from overreacting. I said like zero. So now the question is, are you willing to admit that you overreact sometimes? Or maybe all the times? Maybe just sometimes, okay? Or any time at all? Sometimes, maybe just once in a while, maybe, right? Are you willing to admit to that? Because if you can't admit to that, we all overreact sometimes, all of us. There's no, it's either fight or flight. It's either you're running from your problems or you are engaging it with more confrontation. It's one of the two. But we all overreact in one shape from or the other. All right. So maybe that makes it easier to reflect and say, yeah, maybe sometimes, guess what? I forget her for a second. I don't gain anything from overreacting. The patience I practice is actually for myself, right? It's actually for myself. This is my shift in mindset over the past 17 years that has made my life super easier. My wife and I go 4 to 6 months without any argument, right? For some of you, you've made assumptions that it must be that somebody is the doormat and somebody is walking all over them. Let's check. Right? You've made that assumption, but it's okay, it's natural. That's probably because you are making that assumption from your own experience. I understand, but it doesn't have to be that way. Some people also believe that they need to be toxic before they can enjoy the relationship. It's not true. It's not true. That's again, you're only speaking from what you know, but you know that it doesn't feel good. You know something has to change, right? Jim June said, Dr. Apoki is my new online friend. My husband take every number so far. Yeah, I'm not innocent. It took every number as in like he passed or he failed. Or you talk about the false beliefs. Yeah. Welcome, gracious greatness. Good to see you, bro. False belief number 13. False belief number 13. Hold on one second. All right. False belief number 14. You've heard some of this here before. I know you've heard this if you've been around. Good intentions and character are enough to succeed in marriage. You never see anything yet.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
Yeah. I challenge you. I challenge you to go to the courthouse in your jurisdiction, the family courthouse, right? Around like 8, 9, depending on the time that they handle their cases over there. I don't know because I don't know, right? But go there and just interview some like, hey, what kind of case are you here for? Be respectful. Like, oh, I'm here for. Oh, okay. Would you say you were a good or a bad person inside of your marriage? Just ask all of them. Just ask everybody, right? Does that mean they're actually good or bad? No, it doesn't mean. But the point is that everybody thinks they are good. Everybody thinks they are good. So, and two to get two cancels out two. That means it's irrelevant. Okay. You say he failed. Oh, so sorry to hear that. Most men will fail most of this. Okay. I don't care how many premarital counseling they've gone through. Most men, not just young men, will fail all of this. Now, the era we're coming from, as in 30, 40 years ago, you can pull a marriage through a lot of this, just because, everybody's there's no social media, there's no, there's Women having their own autonomy is not really a highlighted fact, So, but this day is going to fail. And we're seeing many, many of them. You're seeing people filing for divorce 39 years into the marriage. We didn't cover that today, we'll cover that tomorrow. So, and you're like, oh, they're just modern women, they have been learning from the wrong people. Our people are forgetting their culture. What do you mean by culture? Do you know how to define culture? Define culture. What culture are you talking about? 1807 culture or 1966? I don't know. Oh, no. Tell me, which one of them? Is it the 1807 one or 1966? Because those two cultures are actually different too. Because it's a moving target, right? So which one of the culture? There's no way you could be talking about 2024 culture. Could it be? So we should just be losing ourselves into this, like, all of that is irrelevant. Okay, that's the point I'm making here. All of that is irrelevant. But we're talking about false belief number 14. Good intentions and character are enough to succeed in marriage. Anyway, this is what I learned over time. Of course, you should have good intentions and character. Of course, you should. Everybody should have that. That's bare minimum, though. That's bare minimum. Here's what I learned. No matter how intentional I am in marriage, without emotional intelligence, it will fail. You see all this Oyibo stuff. All this Oyibo stuff, you see? Yeah, I know. But you will still need to calm down, be patient with yourself, and learn how they work. If you want a healthy relationship back with your wife or husband. Anyway, yup. Let's see. No, Abi, define culture now. Chinye, you get me. Hopefully, the rest of the people get me. Let's go to false belief number 15. Let's go to false belief number 15. Before I go to false belief number 15, Akubendo, drop a question here. Are you saying it's irrelevant in 2024, asking for a friend? No. Thank you for that question. Not that culture, we covered this with the other topic the other day. Not that culture is irrelevant in 2024. It's that if 1807 culture is relevant in 2024, culture is relevant in 2024, of course, right? But it's 1807 or some aspects of culture of 1807, are they relevant in 1966? 1807 to 1966 is about 60 years later. 60 years later, is every aspect of whatever is defined as culture relevant, or has it evolved or devolved? Some people like to say, oh, it's not evolving, it's devolving. I said, clap for yourself. Good. As it changed is the point. As it kind of transformed into other forms. Now, all this transformation, are you paying attention to it? I mean, we should just let me just pretend like it's the same culture. No, we don't ever say it like that. But sometimes our argument is essentially saying culture is culture. It stays the same, right? We also use religion to perpetuate that point sometimes. Context ni koko no bokini, our culture is beautiful in so many ways, but with respect to marriage, has it evolved? Yes, absolutely. Yes. So in what ways exactly? That's another topic. You need to pay attention to that, right? So let's go to false belief number 15. My friends and family tell me that my wife is out of control. All right, so we don't say this out loud. We generally don't say it out loud, but sometimes we're listening to other people's standard of what a wife is supposed to be, and then we start comparing our own to it. Okay? So we're listening to it. Sometimes it's direct, Sometimes it's not direct, right? When it comes to our family, it depends on how much you guys have dragged yourselves in the mud with your own family. Let me tell you something. It's not just you. We've all done it. Somebody's like, no, I've never done it. I always know that. Clap for yourself. Me and you, we've all done it. Where we drag our partner wutu, directly or indirectly in front of our family, extended family, or friends. Sometimes it's banterish. We don't necessarily pay attention to that it has an effect, right? Sometimes it's in like you're just seeking advice or counsel and they advise you, but the way you receive the advice is like it makes you feel completely less than. It was supposed to help you, but you didn't feel right after it, right? Sometimes you've forgotten that event that went past from like 6 months ago, but your friends and family they are stuck on the negatives. What they tend to remember is the negatives about your partner, right? Here is what helped me over the years where I never have to do that again. All right. And it also helped me in facilitating my wife not having to do that again. All right. Oftentimes, you just want people to agree with that the fact that you're not crazy, like you're not just crazy, like you know what you're trying to say. Is it just me? Right? Like, isn't that what women are supposed to do? Just respect your husband, Jesus Christ, right? And you feel, and you're not too sure of this, that you feel the need, right, to ask other people, right? Who's the closest people you're going to ask? That's the person I'm talking about. It might be a friend, a colleague, or something like that. But this is what helped me, okay? Any disrespect shown to my wife, this is what I learned about last. Any disrespect shown to my wife, even by me, is ultimately a disrespect to myself. It's the direct result of my lack of self-respect. Again, it's a mindset shift. It's a mindset shift. All right. When you adjust, you will enjoy this thing. Okay. When you realize that you too, you deserve soft life, you will go back and start reading through this stuff. You will adjust accordingly. All right. So it's just seeing her as you. So even if she seems like she's wrong right now, you own your shit. You take ownership of responsibility until she's right. That helps you in how you address issues with her. And you naturally will not overreact because you're seeing that is she's wrong. Okay, I'm not getting something right. Right? It just helps your approach to issues, to conflict, right? It helps your approach. It helped my approach to issues. So if my wife is saying gibberish, right, quote unquote rubbish, or right, I see that that's me. Why am I saying rubbish? Not obviously, not literally, but I'm saying like this rubbish in our situation. I need to clean that out. I take responsibility in that. So it helps my approach to the issues, right? It also helps me with having patience for myself because if it's me that's saying rubbish, what I'll do is I'll calm down and then say the right thing, right? So if my wife is saying what I consider to be rubbish or nonsense or something like that, instead of me saying you're not making sense, I will lean in with active listening and I will assume she's coming from a place that I can't see yet, right? So that helps me with patience. It's a shift in mindset. So truth number 15, any disrespect shown to my wife, even by me, is ultimately a disrespect to myself. It's the direct result of my lack of self-respect. And it's not a crime to have lack of self-respect. It might just be a space where you are in life. Maybe you're feeling less than, maybe you're feeling like you're not moving fast enough in career, and you're just feeling depressed. At least you're self-aware and you can seek help when necessary. So it's not a crime to have insecurities. It's not a crime to have low self-respect. It's not a crime. It's no condition is permanent, right? You can change that. But changing that starts with self-awareness, all right? Toby and Try say relationship is painful. Unhealthy relationships are painful. I'll tell you that much. Relationships are the inevitable. you will engage in them one shape, form, or the other. So we better get this right, Toby and Tribe. I wish a lot of men understood this fact that disrespect to your wife is disrespect to you. Yeah, so if you say it on the surface, a natural man mind is kicking right back against like, what gibberish are you talking about? Women need to be held accountable. Serious, point blank, period. That's it. That's right. But my explanation that I just did, which I don't want to explain tired, right? It's necessary to get a typical man to get to that space, right? So let's keep going. I think we are at what, number 15? We just did 15. Let me make sure I favorite the other one so I can do proper recap. There you go. I did. Let's do this. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go to number 16. If you really got some value from this, you need to help me. No, you don't need to. Help me grab a link of this video and share it to 3 WhatsApp groups that you're a part of after the show. Okay? Help me share it. Help me share it. If you got some value from it, that's the biggest favor you can do for me today once we're done with the show. False belief number 16 of 17. We're almost done. We're right on time. Thank God I didn't go into the other stories. False belief number 16. I already know what my wife is going to say because she talks and nags too much. So she should just shut up and listen to me as the husband. Okay, again, most men, there are a minority of men that will actually say this out. If they ever say it, it's because they're upset and they're angry. Maybe you're angry with each other and they are looking to hit below the belt because when they hit below the belt, right? But typically, on a normal day, in a WOSA level, it's hard to admit that you've done this, right? Or you are quick to say, I was just upset, right? Well, anything you do while you're upset becomes resentment. It will bite you in the butt if you don't resolve it. Just FYI. Because they don't forget anything. No, they don't.
Oh, beauty.
Especially if they were pregnant when you did it. Okay, they don't forget anything. Just so you know. Okay. Here's what I learned over the last 17 years with respect to this false belief. All right. This is going to trigger a lot of men. Truth number 16. This is what I learned. I have nothing to say until I fully listen to my wife without bias from past issues. Not fully listened, but more so when she shows that she feels fully heard. All right, it's a lot there, okay? Even me, when she's saying things that I don't necessarily agree with, like every other microsecond, I'm triggered. Like, I need to correct this right now because let's just say the fact for fact. Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's not sugarcoat anything. I really want to do that, and oftentimes I've failed at and actually interjecting before she gets her thoughts out. Guess what? Every time I interject, we have to start from ground zero. The issues are not going to get resolved unless she feels fully heard. Now, fully heard is not necessarily that it's not necessarily that we iron out every issue in the last, for example, 17 years. That's not necessarily what it means. Oftentimes, but if she has like 200 issues, by the time we get through, not 200 issues, that's crazy, but let's say 10 issues, right? By the time we get through one, if she feels fully heard by 1.5, oftentimes we don't need to address the rest of them anymore. Secret. Gentlemen, that's the secret. Okay? But here's the tricky part, right? When she's talking about the first one, in the midst of talking about the first one, she's going to trigger you about 3 to 5 times. Each one of those triggers need a response. It needs a correction, to be precise. If you bite, yeah, you don't go finish them. So if you don't finish it, what ends up happening? You end up with an active argument. People are upset. One person wants to go to bed. The other person said we should never go to bed with issues. And it's just toxic, right? But if you can make it through the first one, by the time you're making through the 0.51, it's like, okay, just leave me alone, right? Okay, all right. Like she will give you, she will multiply it into grace, a bunch of grace. So the point here is this, okay? The method I've used is I have nothing to say until I fully listen. Have I ever fully listened before? No, it's never really happened, because she never need to keep talking. She just need to feel heard. Not that I feel like I've listened. Not that. She needs to feel heard. Some people might interpret this as you're brushing issues under the rug. Welcome to the real world. Many issues will literally dissolve into thin hair. Yes, thin hair. And you will never have to address them. Why? Because you have emotional intelligence. You're a student of emotional intelligence. So that's truth number 16 that I learned. I have nothing to say. I still make this mistake sometimes. That's what I'm telling you. But every time I pass this, it's not really, So are you brother? There's some issues that are major, not major, but like they're important. They must be ironed out. It still requires me to fully listen to what she's saying before. I need to hear where she's coming from, not just what she's saying. I need to hear everything. Like, where is this coming from? Sometimes this is coming from years ago, from her past trauma. No, you don't need to be her psychologist. That's not what I'm asking you to do. All I'm telling you to engage your own soft life. Relax. It's probably, it might be, it's probably not about you, is the point. Relax. Just be a quick shoulder to cry on from time to time, and then your life is a lot more easier. That's truth number 16 of 17. Are we doing a little over time? I think we are. Okay, this is the last, but definitely not the least. 17, finale of the finale. 17 of 17 lessons I learned over the last 17 years in marriage. All right. Okay, I guess we can take a little break. Hold on 1 second. Jim says, especially when they are pregnant. Fact. It's a fact. I've never been pregnant before. How did I know? Okay, I guess 17 years is nobody's mate at the end of the day. Let's see. Gracious Greatness with the 10 pounds said, things don't change. Oh, I'm not sure that I want soft life. Oh, me, I want balances. Life, I still want to be Spartan warrior clan. So that if one weary fell on, try him and go destroy him. Listen, here's what I always tell people. First of all, let's dance before I address that. Okay. All right. Welcome back. Hit the like button. Thank you for the 10 pounds. It goes a long way. I appreciate you, brother. All right, so now let's address this. Things have changed, right? Things have changed, and you're not sure if you want soft life or you want balances. Yeah, I like that you say you're not sure. Balances is exactly what you create when you fully comprehend everything I shared in this 17. Balance is what you create. Remember, first of all, that they're not innocent. They're not innocent, okay? Well, obviously, we're not innocent. So, remember, if you want to start a whole marriage with basketballs, if it works for you, it works for you. Just keep in mind that the definition of if it works for you means it's also working for your partner. If it works for you, it works for you. For me, what has created balances, because I like balance too, right? What has created a very well balanced life for me is to make sure I know what I'm addressing before I try to address it. That's the whole point of active listening. Active listening is actually for your own good. So you don't start sounding like rubbish to other people. That's the whole point. Active listening is for your own good. All of this is for self, right? Now, you will also influence, especially if you're the man, you will influence what you are. Women can't help themselves. They literally start completing your sentences when they feel safe and secure. That's literally what they do. Ola, you are generalizing. Yes. Take it to the bank. Okay. They literally start finishing your sentences. If you don't believe me, ask your wife's pastor. If you don't believe me, just ask your wife's pastor. You think it's the juju that the pastor is doing? Okay, all right. It's because that pastor knows how to hit your wife's nerves. Okay, they know how to touch them at an emotional level. That's why. Okay. False belief number 17. Shout out to the 10 pounds. I appreciate you, bro. I can't be held accountable for everything. My wife must be held accountable for her faults too. It's like gracious greatness was reading my mind. Let's create some balance. Why should I be held accountable for everything? Well, here's what I've learned over the last 17 years. As the leader, not everything is my fault. That's a fact of life. That is a fact of life. I don't need to explain myself on that one. I don't need to do any type of shalaye around that.
Explain, because no evidence.
If I have to explain that everything is not my fault, you're probably not an accountable person. That's why you're doing that. Again, remember, it's still fact that nothing is not your fault. But if you have to explain that, anyway, the false belief is as the leader. It's a mindset as the leader, right? We're switching it now, right? But I've learned that not everything is my fault, but the overall experience in my marriage is 100% my responsibility. That's my superpower. Of course, the last thing I want anybody to do is take that away from me. That's my superpower. That's my superpower. "17 of 17 lessons from the last 17 years of marriage." I discovered most of this at about the 8 to 11 year mark. Yeah, that's about that time frame. That's when I discovered them. It takes experience. Most men would disagree with all of this, many of this, until they collect shege. They need to collect shege first. It's okay, that's fine. Afterward, experience is still the best teacher, right? Okay. Many men will never learn this. They will have to lose their family first. Not only will they lose their family, they will tell you, it's okay, I don't care. I don't care if I lose a family.
Don't care, still don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. So Chidima said, so you don't want drizzy. Listen, experience. Just go through it first. Unpack it. I would definitely take notes. Don't necessarily agree with them, but just take notes. Try everything else. Try the false beliefs first, and then if you don't work, if God give you another day, then you try my method. But it's been working for me. If what you've been doing have been working for you, you don't have to change anything. I mean that when I say that. If what you have been doing, if they have been working for you, you don't have to change anything. I mean that wholeheartedly. Listen, we're not a mono. What do you call it? A mono something. No, we're all different. We're all unique beings. So you might have figured out other way that something is working for you. Maybe your own wife is very intentional and they're just always innocent. They walk a straight line, FBI, feminine, beautiful, and inspirational, right? Maybe. And it's you don't have to take the credit. You made a good selection. It's working for you. Keep working at it. But if it's not working, then you might want to try something else. Let's see. Uncle Bello, what did you say? Sorry, let me go back to you. He said, in a nutshell, see nothing, say nothing. No, absolutely not. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't see nothing, say nothing. Say something. Just make sure you understand what you're saying something to. Listen first before you talk. That's what that is. You should say something. You will resent yourself if you don't ever say anything. You will resent yourself. Monolith. Thank you, Jerry. Yes, we're not the monolith. So you might just find other things that work for you. But out of 17 points, if you disagree with more than 11 of this, I guarantee I put my monthly livelihood on it. Let me know. Hit me behind the scenes. You're struggling in that marriage. It's a guarantee. Okay? At least I can bet my monthly livelihood on it. You're struggling in it. Okay? If you disagree with at least 11 of this 17, disagree. Any man who have any level of experience might even still struggle, but they agree. They say, that's why you get songs like burning. Right? That's how you keep your household together. That's how I've kept my household together. Right? Now, what is she responsible for? You know what I can do? I can try to help you ladies. Okay? What do you guys think, ladies? Do you want me to get her to come up with her own 17 lessons that she's learned in 17 years? Would that be something that you guys want to see? If that's true, put a 1 in the chat. She's going to bite me for this. But if you want to see that 17 lessons, shocking lessons, we'll take it to Lola and Lola platform though. 17 shocking lessons that she's learned out of 17 years of marriage. Because I know this whole session sound like I was just being a macho man and I'm just a masculine man and I figured it all out. Then that means you miss one of the lessons, because I said there's nothing like just one day at a time. That was like the first thing. so put a 1 in the chat if you want to see that. Let's do a quick recap though. False belief number 1: it's been 17 years, I must have figured everything out. See my life? No, absolutely not. What I learned is that every day is a brand new day. I listen. That allows me to listen as opposed to making assumptions off of typically the last bad experience. Okay. False belief number 2: my reactions are justified because of how others treat me. Okay. Truth number 2: I own my shit. It's not about how they treat me. My reactions are my responsibility. My responsibilities, rather, right? I guess, yeah, consists of my responsibility. Yeah. Let's go. Let's keep going. False belief number 3 of 17: I know what she's doing. She's shown me who she is. I know what she's up to. She's shown me who she is. What I learned is that I avoid making conclusions. What I've learned is to avoid making conclusions and taking actions based on assumptions based on the past. False belief number 4: she needs to be respectful and allow me to lead. Of course, she should be respectful. Of course, she should be respectful. Allow me to lead is a curse word. No. I choose that I lead, not her. I choose to lead. She doesn't allow or not allow. But anyway, what I've learned is that I'm the man, and in due time, she follows my lead. If I engage with basketballs, she follows the lead. Right? No matter how things appear right now. Yes, in the short term, it might look rough. You might try it and you feel like it doesn't work, Gary. You need to be consistent. Anyway, false belief number 5: I need to communicate, express myself, and speak the truth always. Here's what I've learned over the last 17 years. Effective communication means listening more and talking less. Still talking, but talking less. Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right, false belief number 6: I'm not constantly contributing. I have no value, or I feel used. I feel like our family are using me, all this kind of stuff. Truth number 6: if I can't be useful enough to be used, I might as well be useless. I can't be abused. That's just a fact. I have to allow that before it can happen. False belief number 7. I am not always right, but she's always wrong because I'm the man. Right is right and wrong is wrong. If you tend to say right is right, wrong is wrong, particularly with your marriage issues. Sorry, brothers. I didn't want to do this today, but you go collect.
Sorry, yo.
Yeah, you go collect. You go collect. I'm sorry, you. Sorry. All right, here's what I've learned. Pride complicates my love life 100% of the time, even when I think I'm right. You notice the I think I'm right part? It's right and wrong is irrelevant. Okay, it's just irrelevant. You don't believe me? Look at the results you're creating. False belief number 8. As a man, never listen to a woman. What I've learned over time, if I don't break the cycle of this pride thing, pride will completely eat up the marriage, will create the vicious loop of anger in my marriage. In other words, she will also participate in the behavior you created. Remember, she's always following your lead. She's always following my lead. At least that's what I believe. False belief number 9. I need to be in control of everything in my marriage. Truth that I learned over the last 17 years. I can't control everything, but I can control enough to win in love and life. More than enough, as a matter of fact. False belief number 10. If you can't control your wife, you're a weak man. Okay, first of all, what I learned over the last 17 years is I can't control my wife, but I can choose to control myself. Okay, and effectively influence her. What that looks like, by the way, to other people is that I can control my wife, especially my family. It looks like I can control my wife. That's what it looks like to them. As long as we're winning, as long as I'm winning, that's all that matters, right? Most people will be stuck arguing with their destiny. It's okay. It's all right. To each his own. False belief 11. As a victim of my wife, society will forgive me if I hold her accountable. Just hold her accountable. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Anyway, what I learned, number 11th of 17th, is I might have been a victim because she's not innocent. No, she is not innocent. Of course not. I might have been a victim, but now I'm a survivor, and as a man, I have access to my power. Even me, I'm introducing myself as a man, like Dr. Akpoki said, right? But not to her. The point, not to her. This is my own me time. Remember, I like soft life too, so I have me times. Yeah, there you go. False belief number 12. I owe so much to the parents who gave me everything, and my wife is a bad devil if she tries to get in the way of me talking or taking care of them, rather. By the way, ladies, this is not gender specific. It's not gender specific. So keep that at the back of your mind. What I learned over the last 17 years, if I ever have to choose, this is non-negotiable. I must always prioritize the family I created over the family I came from. This is non-negotiable. Why? Why would you make it such a rigid thing, right? Because it creates a wife who will not try to get in the way of remember, she follows my lead, right? She's trying to compete with me, right, in keeping our family first, right? So she knows how to do that, but this creates a synergy where nothing can enter, right? And everybody, they naturally just respect that. The last thing they ever want to do is come in between that. Just trust me on that, okay? Same thing with your children. Remember, we talked about putting your children above your spouse. Same thing. Last thing they ever want to do is come between mommy and daddy because they don't want to disappoint both of them at the same time. But let me guess, you rather just put them first. If it's working for you, please keep doing it. Thank you. False belief number 13. Reacting quickly and passionately to anything that smells like disrespect shows strength, stoicism, and masculinity. That's false. The truth I've learned over time is the patience I practice in every interaction benefits me. I don't gain anything from overreacting. And many people call that maintaining your masculine frame, okay? Maintain frame. Masculinity is nothing physical, okay? It's nothing physical when it comes to humans, okay? Not in the context of relationship, at least. You might look masculine because you can stomp somebody's head physically. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about here, okay? There are many people like that gets dumped from time to time. In fact, many of them, the reason why they enter gym is because they've been dumped multiple times. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Sorry if that hit the nerve. False belief number 14. Good intentions and character are enough to succeed in marriage. He say what? What you mean?
He shock you.
Okay. All right, that's false belief number 14 right there. Where is I can't find what I learned 14 for number 14. I can't find it. I have to go and lift it again. What I've learned over time, let me post it. What I've learned, I'll post it here for you guys. Let's see. No matter how intentional I am in marriage, without emotional intelligence, it will fail. That's what I've learned. Okay, let's go to number 15. We're just doing a recap. That's all, a recap. My friends and family tell me that my wife is out of control, or they insinuate it, or I don't feel secure about how they see my partner, right? My wife. In this case, I'm talking as a husband. I don't feel secure about how they see my wife. Okay. This is all you have to do to worry about this again. First of all, what they think in short term doesn't matter. It's what matters is long run. What they think in long run, of course, that matters because that will continue to mess with you. But in the short term, it doesn't matter because again, when you're starting this married thing, your family, your friends, they're trying to protect you, so all this kind of stuff. And then you might have some rigid false beliefs that you need to break yourself, like this 17. Here's what I learned. I learned that any disrespect to my wife, even by me, forget the rest of them, even by me, is ultimately a disrespect to myself, even when I'm right. Even when I know that I'm right, I know that I'm right. If I disrespect her because she's wrong, that's a disrespect to me. Okay, and is the direct result of my lack of self-respect. Because if I had self-respect, I would approach the issue in a different way. Whatever the issue is, including what is being said or my fear about what is being said about her outside, is something to pay attention to. Okay. Reason why this became an issue is because, like me, many of my clients today, their issues is what other people think of their spouse. I know, right? Lord have mercy. Anyway, false belief number 16. I already know what my wife is going to say because she talks and nags too much. So she should just shut up and listen to me as the husband. Okay, you might not say this out loud, but this is probably how you feel. Either way, this is what I've learned. I have nothing to say until I fully listen to my wife without bias from past issues. Here's the part. I have nothing to say until, right? So there's an ultimatum here on all this whole thing. Okay, it's not that you should never say anything, but you should have attempted, at least try to fully listen to where she's coming from, right? Not fully listen to, let's put that in quotes, not even fully listen, but more so when she demonstrates that she feels fully heard. And I told you guys the secret earlier on. I told you that if there are 10 issues, by the time she addresses one, if you allow her to get it out, you will notice that you will barely get through the second half of the second one of 10 issues. It won't be necessary anymore. She already got what she wanted. She just needs someone to hear where she's coming from. This is typical. There are some people with the extra super coconut head out there. It's probably not your wife. How do I know? Because you have to try it first before you realize if it's your wife or not. All right, so false belief number 17 of 17. I can't be held accountable for everything. Everything is not my fault. My wife must be held accountable for her fault too, so we can create balance, like Gracious Greatness said. Right? Here's what I learned. No matter how intentional I am in marriage, without emotional intelligence, it will fail. It will fail. It will fail. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. let me use the last 3 minutes to get through some of this. All right. Gracious students, okay, I should just shut up then. Yes, you should, probably. I still have a question to ask. Go ask now, Kubeno. Ask on. In fact, just in case you want to, if you have the time, feel free. I'm dropping the link. I think I can borrow another 30 minutes. I dropped the link. I agreed to 15 out of 17. Nice. That's not bad. You're a married man for the last, 15, 16 years, Uncle Beno? Go figure. Does that make sense? It makes sense, right? And what counts is that you're married today, by the way. What is you're married today, right now, and you're happily married today. Never mind the last 15 years either. No matter, okay, we already covered that. That was me posting that. If you can't control yourself, you're a weak man. Who has any special power to control another human being? You'll be shocked. You see how you said that it flows, right? When you are presented with a real life problem, like this woman is, as far as you're concerned, she's running her mouth, right? And then to her, she's just communicating. She's telling you what it should be, but your own experience is that she needs to just stop, right? You will lose control of yourself. No, it's going to happen. It's only it's a matter of when it's going to happen. But it's easier to manage when you are aware that it's going to happen. It's easier to manage. Yes, as long as working for you means working for plural you, not singular, then all is well. Yes, it means, if it's working for you, it means it has to mean it's working for the other person. Because if it's not working for the other person, then you're just cooking your breakfast. That's all you're doing. And yes, it will hurt. No matter how much you say, you don't care. Don't care.
Still don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. Uncle Beno, ask a question, please feel free. Allow me to lead. Listen, how many men have you heard say that in this internet? Me, I hear it in real life. The internet people always say, that's internet. No, these things are real life. I hear it in real life. People say this all the time. She needs to just allow a man to be a man. I'm like, wait, what? Say that again. Anyway, I would say it depends on the partner, and like MOP said, if it's working for you. Yeah. Which one is masculine man? Should that one still exist? Absolutely, because it's if you're not a flexible human being. So we're getting all these ones. Hey, we get all these ones. I think I have enough ones from 12 people watching live. Okay. All right, we'll see. I'll see if I can make that work. You still have a question? I'm waiting for the question, Uncle Beno. I'm waiting for you another 1 minute or so because I need to round up. Every husband must know this. Why? Because they need to agree or disagree with it. What I have done, if you've watched this completely today, is at least make you aware. That's my goal. Just the awareness. Okay, that's my goal. Because you might even find that if you try to carbon copy paste this exactly, you might find yourself struggling. So please don't shut up. Please ask questions if you're talking about here. I'm saying if you think, okay, I should just shut up in marriage, if that's what you comprehended from what we've covered so far. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you, bro. You know what I mean? Uncle Beno, I'm waiting. Where's the question? Should we put a timer up for Uncle Beno? I think we should put a timer up for Uncle Beno. Maybe like 30 seconds or something like that. 60 seconds? 30. I already gave him 60 seconds. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do 60 seconds. Let's do 60 seconds for Uncle Beno. Chia, did you get some value from this? Yes, you got some value. Majority of the point, they're not gender specific, by the way. So for you ladies, that you might want to see if you can flip some of that around. Here's what I'll tell you. If she comes up with that 17, I will not show her mind. No, she's not watching live. I won't show her mind so that she can come up with something that's also unique from our own standpoint. All right, but yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you guys. I appreciate you for everything, for being here. Thank you, my brother, for the £10 super chat. I appreciate you for that. That goes a long way. It helps. It helps. Hopefully, you guys have been enlightened, educated. Yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.